Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Miska.
Welcome to Overwatch Central. Now, a key thing just as important as hero switching in Overwatch is positioning. Where you stand, where you move to, and where you retreat to. It's this form of experience that separates the men from the boys, and how you move around the map is probably the most important thing you could do once you've selected your hero in the fight. This video is also brought to you by Dojo Madness and Oversumo, the free Overwatch coaching app. You can check out the app by clicking the link in the description below. Anyway, let's jump right into the video and our 6 best tips for positioning in Overwatch.
In Overwatch, it is essential to know your back and front line. Tanks are generally in the front line and supports are generally in the back. This means that you should try and adapt your positioning accordingly, with flankers making use of the map's layout and have a few heroes that are dedicated to sticking on the objective as well. If you're with a pre-made of 6, you can make all of this clear before the match starts. When the match has begun, make sure to remind yourself of your positioning occasionally so you don't stray too far from the team.
Tip number 2 is controlling the high ground. Obi-Wan Kenobi told Anakin Skywalker this, and I mean, look how that ended up. It's important to control the high ground in a game of Overwatch. Snipers benefit from being high up on a vantage point, and certain projectiles are much more effective if lobbed from above, such as Junkrat's grenades. If you control the high ground around an objective, the enemy will be very exposed when protecting or attacking it. Flank defensive heroes that are positioned high up and stand your ground if the attackers are trying to overrun you.
Everybody loves a handy health pack, even supports with healing abilities. These heals allow your team to be more dynamic with their positioning, and high mobility heroes can also get to them quickly. Genji and Tracer, for example, can dance around health packs and even race the enemy to them if needed. As you're moving through a map, you can take a detour to dip out of a fight and grab a heal and then throw yourself back in. Or when you're defending, you can set up around the health packs. If you played a bit of Overwatch, you should know where most of them are, but it might be worth going into a private game to have an extra look.
Tip number 4 is knowing your flanks. Knowing the map and more specifically the flanks is definitely helpful in a game as hectic as Overwatch. Obviously, you guys that play flankers such as Tracer and Genji and Reaper, I'd be worried if you didn't know the flanks. But even as a non-flanking player, it's important to know where you should stand and where to place your anti-flankers such as McCree to work effectively against those Tracers and Reapers. Symmetra is another good example of a hero that has to adapt to the enemy's positioning and the map. So knowing the flanks when playing her is essential, as a sentry turret nest can be the difference from a Tracer getting through and pulse bombing your whole team, or dying before she's even come through a choke point.
It's Temple of Anubis, you're on attack, and you've been stuck at the first choke point for a while. Your team is getting frustrated, but you finally break through the choke, but just get picked off later on anyway due to the team being too discoordinated. This is when knowing what to do in terms of positioning after you're through a choke is important. The plan shouldn't be to break through the choke, but knowing who to prioritize and more importantly, what to do after you're through. Stay around the corner of the choke, group up, get a pick off and push through together. After this, you probably want to do something like getting a pick off on the enemy Mercy so an unexpected res doesn't come out of nowhere. Like Zarya says, just like in trading, visualize, then execute.
And last but not least, our final tip is hero-specific positioning. Quite a few heroes have a few positioning rules that are specific to those heroes. Their abilities might allow them to engage or disengage with ease. This is something you can find out in advance, but the best way to learn this is to really just play the game more. If you haven't already, you'll notice that Genji's Swift Strike is good for escaping a fight, and Zarya's projected barrier can help an ally escape with ease. For example,
if you want more specific tips for heroes including positioning and much more, you can check out this video's sponsor, the Oversumo app. This is a free coaching app for Overwatch that's currently in its first version and contains general tips for all heroes that can be very handy to have on the fly. Reunited, one of the top teams in Overwatch, actually helped develop this app together with the devs at Dojo Madness, so you got tips and tricks for both new and highly experienced players. All provided to you by the pros. You simply open the app, click on a hero and scroll through their tips, see what they're strong and weak against and how to deal with certain heroes as well. You also have filters for the heroes by roles, so you can quickly navigate to your hero of choice. The app is available on Android with iOS coming soon, and it doesn't contain any ads nor in-app purchases either currently. You can give it a try for free by clicking the link in the description. I tried out the app myself and I gotta say it's very quick and easy to use, so if you're in the middle of a game or have just died or are preparing for a match, you can quickly pull out the app and just have a quick look through the tips of the hero you're playing.
And that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you do have any questions or positioning tips of your own, then do drop them in the comments below and we'll make sure to give them a read. We'll be answering a bunch of questions for you guys in a video on Tuesday, so make sure to leave those on Twitter via the hashtag mailbox or in the YouTube comments with the word mailbox in there somewhere so we can find it with ease. A big thanks again to our video sponsors. Sponsored content helps us develop and grow the channel, and special thanks to you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, take care and we'll see you then.